So after you've created an empathy map, you have jot down the user pain points. Now comes personas. So what exactly are personas? Personas are fictional characters which you create based upon your research, the research that you earlier did. You're creating personas based on that research in order to represent the different user types that might use your service, product, maybe a website or a brand in a similar way, right? So creating personas helps the designers to understand users' needs, experiences, behaviors, and goals, right? So personas are distilled essences of real users. They are like real users, but they're fictional. In user experience design, you use personas to build empathy with target users or end users and focus on their world. So you should always create personas from observations about real users. Personas should never be invented out of your own assumptions about your users, right? Anything and nothing about the users should be assumed by yourself. Now, because you must map your users' needs to your design's functionality, you must first clearly define both the needs and the users. Right? So, personas are single most powerful design tool that we use. They are the foundation of all the subsequent goal-directed design. Personas allows us to see the scope and nature of the design problem. So, as designers, we shape personas iteratively. We can build many personas because single persona isn't enough to tell all sides of the story, and all user groups should be represented. So, you can create multiple personas. So, what are the benefits of personas? They build empathy, they help humanize our users. Personas tell stories. Yeah, so these are the benefits. Okay, now so here we have an empathy map. Earlier I told you about empathy map. So what user says, thinks, does and feels. What user says, what user does, they say, do, think and feel. So this is how you create. So here you can see the user says that I'm so stressed out, but I can't take a break. So this is what user says. And what does the user do in his daily life? He works in office 4 days a week, does administration, etc., etc. Now uh, think, who can I contact for help? Why don't professionals take care of mom more? So this is what the user thinks and how the user feels. The user feels annoyed, overwhelmed, scared. So this is the empathy map of a caregiver, right? So this is how you create empathy map. Yeah. So now let's take a look at the example of persona. As you can see here, this is a persona. Now, here Vidya is a doctor and a mother of a daughter who is going to be married soon, okay? Who needs a detailed list of all the ceremonies to be performed at the wedding because she does not have much knowledge about all the ceremonies to be performed. So, this is how you create a persona. You first define your user, you give a name to your user, and you write all the demographics, age, education, hometown, family, occupation of the user. Now, this is something that you can put by yourself, like wedding are for 2 days but the life together after that is forever. This is nothing related to the user, it's just a quote. You can add any quote to make it look more appealing. Now comes the most important part: goals, frustrations and about the user. So this is how you can write the story of the user in the at the bottom, and the goals. What does the user wants and what are the user's frustrations? This is how you create a persona, right? Yeah. So, how do you create effective personas? I've told you what personas are and example of persona. So, how do you create an effective one? So, you can there are some of the points that you should keep in your mind to create them. That you have to collect extensive data on your target user. You should only focus on your target users. Determine the qualities and the differences between the users because you are going to represent an entire group of users, so you need to jot down the common points or the differences between the users, right? and determine how many number of personas, like more than one persona per project. Especially focus, but you have to focus on, your main goal is to focus on each and every group of user, right? So you have to, of course, like I just told, that name and describe your user. Here I gave a name to the user, Vidya Datta. Description is about the demographics, the age, education, etc. Of course, it would be good to add a picture of your user, and user values, interest, education. This I've already told. Extra details. Extra details includes this quote and etc., which is not really required, but this quote makes it look more appealing, or more, it makes it look good, the persona, right? So yeah, so this is how you can create an effective persona for your project.